Alrighty, hello, and welcome back to some good old game dev. Hope everyone's doing well today, hope everyone's had a good day so far. We are starting off with some stuff that I've been working on this morning. Surprisingly enough, again, it's the eternal progression that is an effort to be made. I'm trying to get everything done. Sorry, I'm just making sure things are in the right places. Still haven't finished everything. Alrighty. I will have to review over that later. There we go. Alright. Oh, so today we have no strict thing that I'm going to be doing. There's going to be kind of a general work on things kind of day. Cause simply put, I haven't got a lot of assets done that I needed to get done. It's taking a very, very long time to get everything. But there is certain values I want to tweak around a little bit, and certain systems I want to introduce. And I thought as well, today we might try our hands at introducing one of the hard bosses. Not because it's going to be complex to add, in fact it shouldn't be that complex to add, because again, so this is it here, this Queen of Claws. This is just kind of a list of the stuff that we need to do for it. One of these is this system here, which is something that we're going to probably do shortly. Because simply put, at this stage in time, outside of like numbers balance potentially, the second boss is already in aside from assets as well, right? Like the mechanical side of them is implemented, it will be just getting the other stuff sorted out. So why not move on to the next boss? Now, I will say this plainly, again, I'm intending for a lot of these bosses to be released all at once at some point. Whether or not, like how we're going to handle that and sort of thing, that's going to definitely matter a bit. But the next major update is going to be a lot of bosses, so we want to make sure we're getting slowly through the mechanics of them as we go, because if I can get a bunch of their mechanics done, then I know what I'm going to do for assets, and then it means I can also catch up and spend time working on other things for a little while I sort out the assets for them. Also means that potentially some of those assets might be a little bit more of a surprise, which will be kind of cool. So, with this one of the things that I know I need to kind of tweak around, so again, we're going to be doing a lot of tweaking around bosses. That's never going to change. I feel like for a long time, most streams are going to have something to do with bosses and soft changes needed for that. So I just realized that's still producing thing. Okay. So that's end of game, so we don't really care about looking at that. Create event. I was going to raise this to 450 per thing. You'll see me constantly raising the kill requirement for a while, because I just think that at this stage in time, the earliness that the boss spawns at is a little too much, and realistically, I can get away with raising the overall requirement because it's that first boss that matters. By the time a second boss would spawn, we want the first boss to be dead under most situations if you're doing well. So this number is going to probably keep going up. I'm just going to increase it by very small amounts for now, though. I do know that in one of the patches I released, I accidentally released it with the decreased number here and the decreased number here. But that was fixed in the last patch. That was my bad. I forgot to fix my debugging. So it was like, I think it was like 40 or something required and then only one boss to die. So that's gonna be one of those things that like keeps getting approached as we go. Enemy boss list. I need the enemy boss parent because I want to just so how I want to do this is going to be interesting. So we're going to have cool down mod global equals 0. Cool down mod tech 0, then cool down mod ability equals an array. And then we're going to have to make this array in the enemy script creation process. Cool down mod ability equals array create size equals array abilities, and then the value needs to be 0 for now. Alright. And then we're probably gonna do the same for passives. Go back here. Now, I want to double check. If I create an array length with no... or create an array with no length to it, is that fine? All indices within the new array will be set to the instance of 0. Yeah, there's performance issues, potentially. It's fine. Performance issues should be pretty minor in this case, especially knowing that I don't know if we're going to have it as 0. We'll see. No, it's probably best as 0. Okay, so let me explain what I just kind of added and what's going to have to be done for it. So, I think it's all the step event, right? Yeah. So, at the moment, attacks and all the abilities and stuff like that have a cooldown that they can apply. So if we go to the list, you'll see, hey buddy. How do you get off my lap? Let's see, where were we? So here is the reset attack. Right? So this sort of stuff is what we're going to be changing here. How am I going to do this? This is going to be the interesting part. So this isn't going to care, but since the attack is not thing, it's fine. This is what's going to matter. So we'll need to make sure that when we write an attack that's going to care about that, it cares about that. Now here is what's going to be the fun part for this. So what we're going to then do is we're going to then do a times 1 plus cooldown global plus cooldown ability current ability. So this is getting absurdly long. We probably are just gonna quickly bring this down here so it's easier to read. At this point, so to explain this, what we've now added in is it basically is going to modify the cooldown with this stuff. However, because under most situations this is going to be 0 and this is going to be 0, this is going to be 1 plus 0 times the original value, which means nothing changes. However, if we do care about it changing, then it will change. That is the idea for it. So that is why we've done this, but this is going to be a nightmare long term. Also started programming a game, started 1 hour ago, and have a character and one singular enemy. Have up down buttons since it's for mobile. Nice. It's actually pretty good. Need to add a health bar. Yeah, health bars are always an interesting one. Because with Game Maker, health bars, if you don't want to do it manually, it's a bit weird using Python. What engine are you using? Because telling me the language only gets so far. Because like I know a bit of Python. I used to use it a lot. But Droid 3. Okay. Don't know if I've known that one. At least not off the top of my head. Not a bad thing though. I'm assuming it's a mobile development kind of orientated yeah, it's for mobile, yeah. That's pretty solid. always good to have options like that. God, now I'm just reminded of a really silly app that used to exist. It was like for making Minecraft mods. And it's like, why would you even make Minecraft mods for mobile? Because you can't even run them. It was very strange. It's clearly probably something that was like thrown together just to like gain interest and gain downloads. So I don't see how it would function. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, so that's in there now. Script executes, this main attack will work. Is there a way for me to automate coming off of attacks? There's a couple ways. I don't think I have any that are good, that I'm happy with. And then passives will have their own cooldowns internally that they'll sort out. So I think this is the only auto one that we need to concern ourselves with. The rest we will have to do manually. Okay. My character is a blue rectangle and the enemy doesn't do damage. I mean, that's early game div. That sounds about right. It's what is the rule of thumb is that, especially when you're making like a first game or an early game, pretty much any game ever, the first thing you do is you get a shape and you make the shape move. Well done, you've now officially like progressed quite far. Do you need it to take damage or deal damage? That can be later. That's not as important. You can easily set up variables for all of that, which is not too big a concern. It's movement of the player is the first priority in most situations. I do think UI definitely is something that should be considered a lot earlier than I think I do. When I'm making a project, I definitely consider UI way too late. So with that, I'm talking like pause menu functionality and the likes. Need a good mobile app that you can create sprites on? I mean, surely there's something. I mean, again, the beauty you kind of have at the end of the day, as long as you can output with like a transparent background, it doesn't really matter post that, right? I'm sure there's like something you can get, and then all you need to do, especially if you're wanting just good like a pixel arty sort of style or simplicity for that, you just lower the resolution insanely, and then you got it. And surely most phones come with like an inbuilt thing. Okay, this is when I beg the question, should I be making this in a separate area? I feel like I should be making this separate to this. So this is like the enemy boss list, and then we have hard. Boss constructor, there we go. Right, I miss the days when I understood what the fuck was going on. I mean, it's not that hard to follow along, right? Surely there's easier ways to find out. Just ask questions. That's assuming I have enough brain cells to place together a string of coherent sentences. That's a good point. The fact that for a good while you would just... I still remember when you would just literally... what was it? Auto-complete your sentences at one point. That was something. Objects array. Boss stats array. Okay, so if this is going to be a harder boss, let's give it a way higher base value and then a way higher base value as well for now. The damage actually shouldn't be very high on this character because they're not going to attack. You just want to ensure that we're keeping the player not touching them. And then movement speed should be very fast. I have flies if you want to see. Oh, files, sorry. My brain. Yeah, I'm at peak game right now. Wanna see my flies? My collection of flies. I mean, it depends on what the files are and how you send them, is my answer to that statement. Because, like, I'm not gonna launch a project on stream. Fantastic Four. Hey now. Hey now. So if I put this as -1, I'll have to make a conditional check for that. But this is so this is the main attack, but there's a thing that I want to mention with this, is that the main attack for this character is not going to be a normal main attack. But we will get to that later. Abilities array. There's only one ability this character has, because they also have a passive that's pretty potent. Fantastic Four, though. God damn it. I'm not gonna live that one down. That was a pretty stupid fucking statement on my part, I'll be honest. So... I wonder, how do I want to handle that condition? I only have the paste bin, but you can't play it since you'd need the thing. Yeah, so then short answer is I wouldn't be able to have a look at the files or anything at this point. But let me know when you get a thing. I get a version of it working. So I'll definitely be interested to have a squiz at it in my free time, if that's the case. So here. There we go. I'll probably make a playable version in about a week, since the code is easy, but not the sprites. Yeah, that is the, that is how it goes. That is very much how it goes. I mean, I say that in the fact that, like, 100% welcome to this game, right? So one thing I actually do want to potentially add, and I think I'm going to add this to the base enemy, is path end buffer equals 0. And then on the controller, let's think about how we want to do this. If path end buffer is greater than 0, or is not equal 0. Target dot y. Okay. So point. What do you output again? You output the new absolute coordinates, right? Yes, you output the new absolute coordinates. Cool. So I need var direction equals point direction from. This is going to probably be the easier way to do it. Is the inverse direction of it all. So this would be. No, this would be plus equals. Path into buffer underscore direction. I believe that's what we needed. That would work. What language are you using? So this is where, again, I've talked about this before. I'm using what's called GML, which is Game Maker's inherent in-house engine language. So Game Maker language is what it stands for. However, it has a lot, it is C# under the hood. So if you understand C and its subsidiaries, you'd understand this code. It does have some differentiation though, and it's because you technically don't write headers and CPPs and stuff like that. So it's not like C++ with the way the object-oriented is, but it's technically object-oriented in the sense that these are actually just objects. And scripts are kind of like global headers, I guess, is how you could kind of indicate it. It's weirdly structured, which means that its garbage collection is very automated but very weird, and it can lead to like excessive memory problems by comparison to a lot of other systems. However, if you're making a game kind of like what I am, those memory problems are minuscule comparative to making something that would be more efficient and more structured, especially knowing that you'd also have to consider the time differential, right? Like, could I code all of this game from the engine up? Yes. Do you have any idea how long that would take? It's already taking me almost 2 years to get to this stage. If I was to make my own engine for it, it would probably... Ooh. How long would it take to make the engine for this kind of program? Half a year to a year for the initial. Along with testing and test cycles, ensuring adequacy for everything, then creating those systems. This project would probably take an additional 2 years. How is Elon Meowth doing? I have only played like a few more runs of Poker Rogue in my free time because that's how much free time I've had, admittedly. I've not really had an excessive amount of free time because most of my time outside of streams is spent on job stuff or this, so just working. And this morning, admittedly, I did play a bit of Mechabellum because I decided to buy that because it went on special. So I played that for like an hour and a half. That was fun. Very bad at it, but it's very fun. So now, if I do this. So what this should mean is that this will try and path the enemy towards the player, like normal, but if we have a buffer input, it will try and path to the buffer instead. However, what we want to also consider is, so this is something that I see in a lot of games, is that if you go too close to these things, they won't move away. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this in. My free time is either poker rogue, programming, jobs, shopping, or being forced to watch movies with your roommate. See, now that sounds great. But no, I'm just too busy. I'm a workaholic by nature, so I require other people to convince me to do stuff, which is why single player games are really bad for me to play. And there's actually, fun fact, I've said this kind of a lot in the past, I haven't really talked about it recently, but I would have never played Yakuza or Persona if it wasn't for streaming. I'm pretty damn confident in that assessment. I should probably have this internal to it, not there, because otherwise it could cause problems. So, simply put, yeah, like, unless one of my friends go, hey, you want to play, like, some Hearthstone Battlegrounds, outside of, like, me eating, I pretty much don't play games. Me eating or me realizing I'm not, getting anything done. Actually, that would have been fine, because I would have just been on top of the thing, right? Yeah. I don't know, this would probably be safe enough. I'm addicted to the stuff I just listed. Well, that's why I say, like, I'm a workaholic. So I'm addicted to just working on stuff. That's why, again, this game, even when... So, back when I was doing study, which, again, doing that earlier this year even, I would spend all my time working on the assignments and stuff like that, burn out, play a little bit of games and stuff like that once a week maybe, or I would just play them during my lectures. Either produce really poor content or really high quality content by the end of it, because I was just not really there anymore. And that's kind of my problem, is that, like, I burn at both ends because there's stuff to burn, is kind of the problem with my workaholic nature, and why I'm very reliant on the streams and my friends around me for, like, convincing me to do things that aren't my work. To, like, go out or chill out and play a game, because otherwise I'm not gonna do it. Even when I do end up doing it, I treat it like job stuff, because, like, the thing is, right, I was playing Mechabellum. You know why I'm playing Mechabellum at the moment? It's because I kind of am trying to convince myself to make a auto-battler game And I have been trying to do that for years. In fact, one of my largest scale projects is an auto battler. But I'm not going to do that anytime soon, because that's one that I actually want to go into with a few, like, a large scale budget and a decent team. Okay, so this should work now, though. So now we take this concept here. And we introduce it to the boss because it has its own movement handling. And then see. Anyone who knows this, but I kind of have a crush. Maybe the other people watching will know. I mean, all good to have a crush. See nothing wrong with it. It's always one of the biggest things, though, with that is considering how the other person feels on the situation. Because, yeah, there's plenty of times I've screwed that sort of stuff up. What should I do? Honestly, let things naturally develop. I do not agree with the concept of... So, okay, let me explain something that's like kind of social engineering here. And this is something that I've come with my experience. No matter what signals you see, you can't confirm anything. Then, on top of that is, the moment you try and confirm something, you will create quite an awkward environment, potentially. So what needs to what my suggestion from the male's end, because like this is the thing, is we're in an era where it's actually really hard for men to make the first move because of a lot of the social systems that kind of exist at the moment. My statement on it is to, there needs to be a way to you need to find a way that you can comfortably express your kind of thought on the matter. Not go like, I love you or anything like that. But also doing it in a way that leaves them fine to not agree with it and all that, because you don't want to really change the overall dynamic. It's always the big thing, right? No matter what you're going to, that's always how that's going to happen. And like, you might go, well, this sounds a lot more complex and difficult than a lot of people give advice. It's like, oh, just go and tell her all that. That is really bad to do, because by going, hey, I really like you, or will you go out with me? You've now put this weird negative stigma forward, and potentially they might have an adverse reaction to that. Not even intentionally, but it could happen, and that creates a rift. And then things become complicated, messy, and you potentially lose a friendship. She's clingy, and that's what, but I think she just likes teasing you. Yeah, again, like, this is the thing, is there's the difficulty of, as a guy, we're kind of, like, as a guy, I can say this, we're conditioned in a way that means that, any form of attachment feels very large, because we don't typically get that in our circles, our environments. We're often told at an early age, it's like not to be emotional, not to be clingy, not to be all of these sorts of things. Especially in my case, I remember a lot of this, which is not really the case. You should be able to figure out your emotions, you should be able to express them happily and cleanly and feel comfortable doing so, regardless of what those emotions are, as long as they're not affecting another person in a negative way. And even if they are, to a lesser extent, right? What I mean by this is it's okay to be angry. A lot of people try and make it out that guys being angry is a bad thing. Guys being angry is fine. Guys being angry at someone else is fine. Using that anger at the person, that's not fine, right? You need to find where that line is. I treat her like a kid since it's the only reason I know to express people I like. It's kind of one of those things of you need a way to express the feeling, but allow for like both of you to kind of go, okay, that's that though, right? There is a channel, healthygamer.gg, highly recommend it. He's actually got way better advice on this specific thing, and he's got it in shorts as well. I'm sure if you scroll through his shorts, you'll find a thing about it, and he's got some really solid advice on this subject. I honestly, that's where I'm pulling some of my kind of current descriptors from for how I would express this concept, because it is a really good way of explaining the stuff that I've also experienced. Because I'm gonna be honest, I have been in, like, to give an idea, I had a work friend, we went out drinking on a regular basis. They would like come back to my place and chill, all this sort of stuff, and they would lean on me during their drinking and stuff like that. One time I put my arm around them because they were cold, so I put jacket and stuff like that. And ever since then, shit went bad for me. That person didn't feel comfortable. Everyone else at the store treated me poorly. All these sorts of things. And I'm like, okay, well, I made a mistake. And I was never really given the opportunity to express my like an apology of some kind, nor was I really capable of doing so because I was a lot younger, right? I was young and dumb. So it's really hard to read what's going on, because clearly what it was that person just felt comfortable with me enough to not care about those things, but it was not romantic. It was a friendships thing. And I clearly overstepped a boundary, and that becomes a difficult thing there. And she gives you head pats. That sounds fucking nice, though. But yeah, and that's my recommendation, is have a look into the YouTube channel, healthygamer.gg. I'll see if I can find the link for the channel quickly. They are 100% who I recommend when looking for, like, kind of social navigating advice, because they just nail a lot of really good ways of expressing things from a male's perspective, or like the current kind of general masculine perspective. And I mean that very positively, right? Like, he's kind of expressing things in a direction that I hope we can kind of, in general, approach more and more. There you go. Dr. K. Just, at some point in time, feel free to go scroll through her shorts. They're really, really good advice. I recommend him a lot to my friends as well, because it's just, we're in an era where, and again, this is kind of weird to talk on, but like, every kind of demographic has negatives to it, like drastic negatives. And now we're at a stage where, with men, we can't express ourselves very well and very easily unless we filter into one of these kind of like subgroup things, like LGBTQ plus communities, all that. Which, little reminder, I'm actually bi and definitely more on the gay side now, and I've never been welcome in those environments, because like I've been with hetero partners and stuff like that, and they go like, oh well, no, you're that. It's like, it's like, and you don't act this way, and it's like, what do you mean act? What does acting a specific way got anything to do with that? And that's where the kind of problems lie in, is it's just, we're now too busy trying to make very cookie cutter side things that you can be, that you can't kind of be in that gray area. And that's like one of the difficult things with navigating things as a male. I'm not gay, but femboys, tomboys, my peak shit, man. It's good shit. I love good. I wish I had that kind of body, but I'm too broad and built to be a tank than anything like that. But for a while I was asexual. See, and I would say we're at an age where like that's what most people will identify with, or something like that. When they're a lot younger. In fact, I actually think that's kind of a cool thing to see in like high schools. Is what I'm seeing a lot of this is where like people are now experimenting with these concepts a little bit more. I just wish there was better support for some of that sort of stuff and better ability to understand what the implications of everything is. Because realistically, like, we get to a point where like there's no true homogenous situation where every gender doesn't matter, right? Because gender is defined by society and by the individual. I define it as basically that's you can be mentally whatever you want to be and physically whatever you want to physically be if you choose to change and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like, that's that stuff, right? Do I admit to having difficulty with certain concepts? Yes, I do, because I've never explored them myself. I've experienced individuals that have gone through some of that thing, and it's just not something that I can kind of comprehend easily. Just because I've just genuinely overall not interacted with that environment all that much. Would I like to change my perspective on a lot of that sort of stuff? Potentially. But at this stage in time, I definitely struggle with some of the good concepts. One of the things I talk about a lot is how I struggle with transgender because of one concept where it's like I want to be like female and stuff like that, and it's not because of physical, it's because of the societal expectation of being a female, but that's not what you're gonna get. And realistically, you can do that without physically altering your body either. So that's where like that difficulty comes in. And again, I'm not going to say that these are opinions that 100% should be agreed with. I very much stress to the contrary. Like, I'm expressing the fact that I do struggle with this concept because of it being a difficult concept to me. Nothing more than that. But yeah, I mean, like, even when I was younger, the concept of someone being asexual existed, right, in high school. I knew, like, one person in particular that that had that tag to them, and I was just like, okay. But it was a lot rarer at that stage. Now I hear just about every kid at school has some form of, like, standardized sexuality thing, and I'm like, okay, cool. We're now exploring this concept. We're now being a bit more willing to acknowledge variation, because it was always the case. It was just never publicly acceptable, I guess. And it's still not as acceptable as it should be. It's always a fascinating thing. Again, I want to stress most of this stuff that I'm talking about, the reason why I talk about it is because it does come up in, like, educational discussions. Quite a bit, because, like, I still read a lot of academic literature around education and educational environments, because that was what my degree was about previously. And it's a very much a subject area that I find fascinating, seeing what the discourse is at the times. And at the moment, like, a lot of it is finding engagement methods and finding explanative methods for things like that. I mean, one of my statements I personally make, and I know that this is probably one of those like mini difficult ones that people probably call me out on, I don't think someone should change their gender prior to going through puberty, and they should finish puberty before the end of that stuff, because that drastically affects the psyche as well of the individual. Puberty does a lot of weird, wild shit to your body that should be dealt with before you should have to make that sort of decision, because it's going to impact you in ways that you kind of can't comprehend, especially at this stage when a lot of those sort of gender transitioning operations are still kind of on their early stages. They're a lot better than they used to be, but still that. Kind of regret being an asexual, because now that I look back, there are some good looking people that asked me out. I mean, yeah, but that's going to be the case always, right? Like, I was more... I was a bit more of a man slut when I was younger. And do you have any idea how much I sit there and go, man, I kind of regret just going out with everyone that asked? Grass is always greener. Grass is always greener. You made your decisions at the time and they developed into who you are now. But it is fair to still send back regret, right? Like, again, that's one of the best learning things, is learning from mistakes in the past. Look at it and go, did I like that? No, I didn't. Okay, well, I've learned. To be fair, it also doesn't help, and I speak to this because I'm watching one at the moment. There is... The problem we have as well is, like, a lot of people will watch, like, anime nowadays and go like, oh man, my childhood was nothing like that, or my school life was nothing like that. It's like, yeah, nobody's is. This is dramatized, like, that's the point. Even if it's realistic somewhat, these things don't always occur, especially in these orders, and realistically, a lot of these characters, they're actually able to resolve things. We as kids couldn't, because we weren't as mature, we weren't as capable, and we didn't have the ability to understand what was going on around us. We didn't have that one, like, individual with the scary smile that knows exactly what's going on and can come and talk to you and go, hey, by the way, you need to go to this area right now to resolve this issue, and then you actually trust them. No, we don't have that in real life. And that's the point of those shows, is they're not real. They're entertainment because of the phantasmal aspect, even if they're slice of life and all that. If I wanted to watch a realistic show, I would watch recordings of my past, and I would get depressed and hate myself. That's all that's going to happen. It's the same reason why video games and movies never actually accurately depict what war's like, because you would not be able to handle what war is actually like. Everyone, it's a lot more romanticized in movies and TV shows and games. It's fucking horrific. The reason people come back with things like PTSD, which is not something that should be, like, thought of positively. It's fucking horrific. So, the important things to kind of consider. Okay. So what did we call it again? It was, I actually completely forgot. In path end buffer. There we go. But yeah, no, it's, again, I'm definitely quite I feel like I sit in a bit of a unique category with how I express these kind of concepts and ideas. Because one thing I've noticed is that a lot of people aren't willing to express them to this degree, nor are willing to admit their lack of knowledge on specific environments, specific things, right? Because it's like, you'll go on, oh god, can I speak to something on Twitter at the moment that just like completely boggles my mind? So, I'm of the opinion that everyone should be allowed their own opinion, whether it be good or bad. You're entitled to your own opinion. This is great, this is fine. I'm gonna pull up a tweet that I put out yesterday that just like broke my brain. Because it was like me commenting on one of the things I saw while scrolling around. So we've had the PlayStation announcements and all that sort of stuff, which is really cool, by the way. And one of the games I'm excited for is the Ghost of Tsushima 2, which is Ghost of Yorte, right? And here, this tweet here is my comment on something. So, bro, some of the takes that I read on here sometimes just concern me. Just read Ghost of Tsushima was built on masculinity as their argument against the new character, because the new character is female. So it's just not going to stop you from thinking what you want to, but just wanted to point out how silly it is. So, it's okay to kind of go like, oh, the thing that I felt really important in Ghost of Tsushima, the first one, was Jin and the masculinity that it was built around, all these things. I won't disagree with you at all on that. And I will probably say like that's a bit of a confusing take, but nonetheless, it is your take, that's cool. Saying that it was built on masculinity, I don't agree with this take. I don't think it's a reasonable one to assume. Especially with some of the characters that are in the game, because there actually is some really potent and powerful female characters. Now, another complaint that I'm seeing is like people kind of commenting on, it's the same with the AC stuff at the moment, but like even stupider. So people are commenting going, it's like, oh, there's not like this kind of character or thing. It's like, okay, anyone that's saying like females couldn't be this impactful in Japan's history and all that haven't actually read Japan's history. They know actually nothing at that point, or little to nothing, because I have in my fucking cupboard right here, back when I was doing my degree, I decided for one of my summer semesters, alongside a friend of mine, to do a course on Japanese history, because I was curious. Do you have any idea how many impactful female characters there are, or individuals there are, throughout Japanese history that are like genuinely history defining? On top of, do you have any idea how many of them probably existed but just never got their names in the books? Like, it's incredible to me that people can kind of think that way, and it's just, the moment I saw there was a video of Asmongold reacting to it, and I looked at it and it's just like, can I play as something other than, it's like, okay, I really don't want to care and listen to what you have to say on this. Because, look, don't get me wrong, I've said this before, Asmongold is an example of a really good source of general expectation of what an opinion is, right? A lot of players are going to think kind of in a similar-ish fashion to him. But there's also takes like that where it's just, no, fuck off. If you don't want to play as a woman in a game, that's fine. Except you're kind of being misogynistic. And move on. Don't make a big huff, don't make a big deal, but his community is. And they're all going like, how dare you? And it's like, I've said this many times, is do not give a shit about like the gender or anything of the character. I care that the story is crafted around that character. That's why I shit on Far Cry 6, because your character doesn't matter. The fact that you can pick gender and pick what they look like actually detracts from the value of your main character from that universe, because it shows that they crafted it in a way that it doesn't matter. Why should I care? Why should I care about this character? Now, yes, I'm talking about a gun game. Gun game, haha, shoot, pew, pew. But its gun mechanics aren't all that stellar and unique. So that's where it kind of comes down to that. I don't know a lot about Japanese history, but I know a lot about Japanese mythology. I know a lot about both, because that class covered both, and I've also studied it external. Like, fuck, at one point in time, I could list you all of the eras, the like key historical eras and their dates when I was doing the studying and stuff like that. I was really in depth with it, but just, it's a really fascinating thing to see as this is a complaint that is being made. I cannot agree with it in the slightest, and I think you're stunting your own ability to enjoy games if you're going to think like that. It's kind of my thoughts on the matter. Because if you're not going to play a game just because there's a female main character that's had the story meticulously crafted around that, then that's your prerogative. But like, then don't complain that it's like, oh, but I wanted to play the game if there was a male character. It's like, well, now you're just being a little bigot. I know a lot about mythology. I mean, same. I was a pretty big nut when I was younger. I was actually chatting about this morning with some friends. I used to read a lot. Back when maybe this might say a lot about me. Back when I was in like primary school, I was actually reading stuff like mythology, history, and science stuff quite heavily, to the extent that I was reading about like chromosomic research when I was a kid, which was like pretty unpublic knowledge. It was in libraries, but nobody fucking knew what the fuck a chromosome was. That was not public, very public knowledge at that stage, or at least around here. Like, you learn maybe a little bit about it at high school, and here I am at like 5-6 years old learning about it in my spare time. I was a pure nerd from the get-go. I don't read as much now because I kind of have a hard time justifying doing anything that I can't do while doing something else. No, yeah. I play Genshin because you can choose if you want to be girl or boy, and they even have different dialogues with characters. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, like, if you want to play a game because you want to be able to choose, that's cool and all that, but like, God of War is a great example of kind of, again, my point is that's a story meticulously crafted around a specific character. You could not just gender bend them all of a sudden without having to drastically shift how a lot of the story is told. And that's the same with this. Like, Jin's story is... like, my hope with the new game is that, like, he turns up as a reference of some kind, or as, like, maybe a mentor. And that's it. Right? I'm actually perfectly fine with him not being the main character anymore. Because they clearly want to tell a different story. Because that's how it is. But I would love for at least some form of, like, connection to be made. Again, like some soft referencing would be nice at the very least. So the player can go, haha, that's Jin, that's the story Jin did, that's cool, right? I'm sure that's what the player would want most of the time. Because, again, it's the argument of, do I truly think that Jin's story is, needs more? It's like, no, actually, it could be completed. Or it could have added more stuff, that's it. I mean, how lore-wise, it could be an argument that he did die at the end, right? Like, it's options. I mean, fuck, I will not deny I've played plenty of games where you could choose and it's been fine with me. Mass Effect's a great example of a game that I think was well crafted because you could get away with being whatever gender, but you still were an impactful character. Do I think that game would be anywhere near as good as it is if you couldn't choose your character and you only got John Shepard? No, I don't think that game would be anywhere near as good. Not to say, again, like that's kind of the point I'm trying to make, is it's not to say that you can't make a story with these two gender things, it's just very typically a very specific thing. As a lady and you want to be healthier, that's fair enough. That was good chatting though. Hope you have a good sleep. Thanks for the help, see you later. All good. Like tomorrow? Yes. Had a moment of thinking what? Tomorrow is Persona again, I think, bro. I'm gonna try and finish the tower stuff and then actually progress the story. I've been stuck in fucking Tartarus for too long. If I could, I would just do like a never stop stream until game over thing with that, but not really feasible. So I'm gonna do that. Now, how do I actually construct enemies? Let's set enemy from struct. I feel like I do all of this, but not this. Not this. Not this. So I'm pretty sure enemy parent is value 0 to begin with, right? They don't even have a value. It's probably not a good thing. Yeah. That's gonna make making some of these things harder long term. Alright. But yeah, no, I definitely find it very wild, some of the takes sometimes I see around stuff like that. One that I saw about, like, the stuff I've seen about Iron Mouse as well, like, the people just shitting on Iron Mouse because they hit an amazing, they're doing amazing stuff and they're hitting amazing numbers, just incredibly amazing to me. Just how much a little fucking complaining you can do. It's like, how dare this person be doing fucking awesome shit? It's so awful. Sorry you can't do... sorry you're not getting off your ass and doing cool shit, and decide you have to shit on someone else for it. But yeah, no, I think it's really fucking awesome what she's done with her thing at the moment, because she's, what, donating 50% of her subs income to the IDF. Which, I kind of hate that we're at a stage still where people don't understand that when referring to the IDF thing, it's referring to the Immune Deficiency Foundation. A lot of people think it's the other stuff. You know what we need to do? We need to fix that. We need to fix that, like, auto Google changes, so it's more consistently that. That's what we need to do. So people, when they think of the term IDF, they think of the good thing, not the bad thing. Also, I love seeing the posts from Frostpunk devs on their Twitter from, like, the reviews and shit. It's so funny. It's just so funny. Oh, you know something I need to save a little bit of money for? The fucking VTuber trading cards. Because, like, that got announced again recently, and I really want to get that. That'd be cool. Some fucking awesome people in it, and I think it'd be a cool thing to, like, have as one of my collection things. What am I getting messaged about? Sorry, I'm a little distracted at the moment, admittedly. Oh, it's bills. Fun. Okay, there we go. So when we go and make a thing, grab all of this for now. We do not set that. How do I phrase it in these sprites array? And we'll have it as sprites array 3 for now. And then doll. Okay, max HP divided by, oh no, we'll go with good old times, 0.01. See how tanky those are, because like if we do the maths quickly in my head, that'll be like 20 health base. That's fine. They're supposed to be little things you pop easily. And we'll just rely on the scaling completely from the boss. I'm going to give this like 20 armor. And damage. That. And speed, I'm actually gonna, so again, I want these to be kind of fast, so I'm actually going to give them a 3. But we're probably gonna change that. We'll see. Might be like 2.7 or something like that. Oh. Okay, that should be all the key stuff it needs for constructing for its tags. That should be good. Sorry, I just read something that one of my friends said in a Discord. I gotta show this shit, man. This is fucking wild. Just out of context manga panels, man. Like... I'm dating a gorilla. He's human. Not an animal, but because he looks so similar to a gorilla, everyone around him call him Gorilla. Is that Gorilla? Gorilla got a girlfriend? But it isn't just his appearance that's like a gorilla. I'm sorry, what? That's a yikes. I know that one. That is in fact its name. That's... I don't know what to think about that. It's a one-shot. Okay, that makes a bit more sense. I was gonna say, like, there's no way that's like a long-running series and it's just gone under the radar for me. Imagine if that was just like the next big shoujo fucking anime. Oh my god, he's a gorilla. It's so amazing. Hell no. Yeah, no, the gorilla dating manga has been going for 40 years now. I was on, yeah, it's more filler than Naruto. Oh god. Like, I was almost expecting, it's like, don't you know that that's been like a top end manga for the last like 5 years? Like, jeez. God damn it, Roger. Oh, concern. Oh, God. Oh, no. I'm now, like, trying to recover from that. Oh, what have you done? Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. Moving on. Oh, God. There's some wild shit out there, man. I do need to get back into reading stuff more. I really should get into reading some more stuff. Busy reclaiming your spots in holocure? Someone thought they could take it from you? Oh boy. Fair enough though. I mean, I've been grinding a little bit of it recently as well. Because I'm still annoyed at myself, because just as a little thing, I do not have all of the achievements yet. There's one achievement I'm missing. Do you know what achievement that is? It's the final achievement. Holocure. This one. The get some help one. And the only reason I don't have that is because I haven't got every character Oshi. Because that shit takes a long ass fucking time. One day. I did also recently do up all of my slaves. I have an unethical solution to your dilemma. I do know there's a very clear and easy solution if I really wanted to. I'm already kind of touch and go with myself with the fact that I did an unethical solution for the fishing stuff. But arguably that's more ethical still how I did that, because I made an automated Python script for that. So it would check what's on screen and then it would try and do it. So the game saves files base 64. Yeah, like I know I could go edit the files if I wanted to, but say what you will, I'm kind of that person, like that mentality of if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this like very particularly. Like I'm gonna do it as the game intends. Which is why it's taking me ages. Like, if we actually launch the game really quickly, where are we at with all of our stuff? I love how someone might just join the stream now and go, man, your game looks way more like holocure than I thought it was going to. It's like, no. I swear. Achievements. Actually, no, is it? Yeah, it's kind of easy to see for here. Character specific, so army. No, actually, it is easier to see via the play. So. No, what? Where is it? Yeah, here. This is where I was thinking of. So, like, I've done all of this manually. I feel like I've done a decent job so far, but it's very clear I have a lot that I need to do. Like, I finished off the ones that I really cared about, and then I've been, like, slowly whittling it down every few days, playing, like, 2-3 runs of each character, and just getting them further along. So, one day, I will have all of the achievements. But at this point in time, the only achievement that I don't have in general is the final achievement. Complete all achievements, then go outside. My favorite thing I got was Super Chat on Risu. Yeah, that's always a good one. I mean, Risu's like what you do for gold farming, because you just you limit your weapon to only being the main weapon, and then just get like, what is it called again? It's the skull, the golden skull one. That sticker, and you just make billions. Like, again, money's not an issue in my account. Because I also have all but one of my little characters on the farm are the max tier and pretty high stats. Like, in a single run, the time it takes for a single run, all of those dudes make me more money than, like, multiple runs would make. So money is not an issue. I also own, like, I think nearly every cosmetic in the game. If not all cosmetics. Because I actually finally did my decoration recently. And I said I wasn't going to do that until I owned all of the cosmetic stuff for the house. So I have nothing to spend my money on at this point. I also have so much fish that, like, money is definitely not an issue for a very long time. Waiting for them to add new members. I mean, that's the thing, right, is we do know the next update's coming in, like, the next month or two. And we already have an idea of some of the characters that are coming, as well as the massive amount of content that's coming. Because K is always, like, releasing way too much content each patch. Why I kind of want to, like, pick up my pace and get all of that done, because I kind of want to get that achievement before that update hits, so I can feel a little bit better about myself. Have the completionist achievement before I need to do more for the completionist achievement, because they can't retroactively remove that achievement. But yeah, like, what are the new characters that they've already listed? I know they've been teasing a bunch of them. Holocure. Not the dev, the actual account. I follow both, so you know. That's Watame. Towa. Let's see. Luna, Towa, Watame, Koko, and Kanata. I think they're the predictions. Alright. Because, yeah, we are getting Koko. Yes, we are getting Koko. They delete it from Steam and re-add it, they can. I swear to God, if he does that, I'm gonna fucking be angry. Okay, I will break down your door and give you a pizza if you do that. Not in a nice way. Like, I'll make sure it's got, like, a bunch of toppings you'll eat, but you'll not like. That is my threat to you, Kay. If you fucking reset the final achievement, if I get it. That's a pretty valid, that's a pretty valid one, right? It's a threat. As threats go, that's pretty good. To be fair, I would love one day to be able to, like, just express my gratitude towards Kay and the rest of the people that work on holocure for making a game that's so awesome and so inspirational. I mean, same argument with, like, a lot of people, though. I've said this many a times. I would love to do that for Iron Mouse, Pirate Software, fucking... The list goes on, right? Let's see. Fix this in shortly. Weapon and layer. There we go. Top 10 on stage 3 all the way down to Yozora. Oof. Dude, I will never try and go for high scores in those games because I'm just not good enough. I will always be curious if I do. I'm unlikely to, but if I added like high scores to this game, what would be accomplished? Right? I do kind of want to add something because I know I'm gonna have internal high scores, so you can see like your best times. But like, I just kind of want to imagine. Be very fascinating. If I did that, though, I would need to do a lot more, like, error prevention and potential cheat prevention, because I'd want a thing. Sweetie board. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I gotta do something, though, for it. Like, when we actually finally release to Steam and we've got everything working, maybe I do, like, some form of giveaway or something. If you post your run and the best time of the posted run gets like a gift card or some shit on Steam, I could do that. And yeah, the reason why I'm saying it that way is because it would basically be my way of making sure you're not cheating the game. I'll send you my account. God. Like you gotta send a recording of your run so I know that you're not breaking any like game breaking rules or anything. Our glitch is valid. My statement on that sort of stuff is if there is something that is clearly not intended, I will disallow it. But if there is a synergy that happens to result in something obscene, but it's kind of like very, very not guaranteed and very hard to pull off, I'm 100% for it. Like, if you found a way to increase, I don't know, what's a good example of kind of what I'm referring to? If there was a way to stack, like, damage reduction into a way that means that you get, like, inflated numbers that just insta-kill everything, but you have to hit, like, multiple things for it, I'm 100% for that. But no, if it's, like, a very clear, like, exploitative glitch where it's, I don't know, you somehow position a specific way and bosses go out of the map and get deleted, then I will probably call that a bit of a scam. However, mind you, I have done a lot of fucking work, so that's no longer the case. There is a lot of work that has been put into the game to ensure that that shouldn't happen anymore. There was a... Okay, you guys want to hear something really fucking funny and really stupid? So I forgot that this was happening, and I think I don't know if I talked about this on stream. In the controller here, in this system here, this here was a very fun bug that's been fixed. So what this is a cull enemy cull unit. So this basically deletes a unit. This is designed in a way to just kind of clean up enemies off screen a little bit. Very simple system. Do you know what was happening? Because I wrote this very differently at one point. I had this as it was basically checking for anything that had this as its parent object. You know what doesn't have this as its parent object? The object itself. Why does that matter? It means that it was getting an incorrect check for bosses. You put a boss far enough off screen, it would just instantly kill it. God damn it. So yeah, that has been hence fixed. Especially with the system now, this works. But yeah, that was a mistake. That was a bad mistake. Again, these are the errors that you get with video games, right? When you're programming them, is that you overlook that one little detail and it ends up throwing it out the window. I got super glasses. The runner's goddamn yep. Glasses upgrade is pretty silly. But yeah, there's a reason why, like, there's very specific things I'm putting in very specific places, so you shouldn't. Like, this is kind of, in a sense, why I'm saying I don't want to do, like, a global leaderboard. Is I don't want the game to... I don't want you to cheat. I don't want you to cheat in a way that ruins other people's experiences and all that. I think it's cool if you can find an internal in-game synergy that just breaks the game. I think that's cool. Do I think that it should brick the game? No. If you find something that like lags the game or anything like that, that's when I consider that something you need to notify me of and fix. But when it comes to the game that I'm doing at the moment, like, I have so many specific things I'm trying to account for that means that you can play it in multiplayer. Because that's one of the big things is holocure. A lot of people have tried to say, like, why don't you make it multiplayer? That game can't be made into multiplayer without it being completely refactored. It's the sheer amount of changes that would need to be made, because so many values would need to be designed very differently and would need error catching that would never have been considered before. Because you'd need to basically design it so it would ensure values cannot go out of scope. And that's something that currently it doesn't do. And that's fine, because it means that, for example, what Roger does, you make it so you can get more or less items than you're supposed to. That's fine. And that's funny and cool, but it also is like, yeah, but it's scumming out the leaderboards a little bit. But it's how you do it. I would not want that in my own game. That's why there's actually some cheat prevention already in the game. Because there's hard-coded special things. I have some honor. Fair enough. But like that's kind of my point, right? Is like, if you think getting a high score on a leaderboard with a cheat like that, not saying you do, Roger, but like just that kind of general thing in games, I do kind of sit there and go, well, I want to discount your score, because I have that, I don't know, my personal respect is that a game should be played as within the scope that is intended. If you modify the game, that's perfectly fine, but if the modification affects outside of just the scope of yourself, then that's a problem. So what I mean by this is Hades. Hades is a perfect game for the thing of, you don't have these global leaderboards. You can modify your stats via the code, and you can make yourself strong, weak, whatever. I rebalanced the game myself, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. And that is exactly what I think is cool. Modding is all fair until any form of multiplayer is included. Yeah, exactly, right? It's the moment you have leaderboards or that sort of thing, that's when it's like, no, okay? If you're using it for leaderboards, then you're not really doing it with the right intention, right? If I see a leaderboard, I would hope that the people on that leaderboard have played within the intended scope of the game. Because then that kind of goes to show like how it actually, again, leaderboards are to show how good you are, not how fucking capable you are of cheating. Don't be a scumbag. Be cool. Learn how to be better. Now, if only every top 100 company could have... Yeah. Yeah. I do kind of... I mean, there's a reason why they'll do ban waves, and then, like, when a person's banned, you remove their score from high score stuff. But I do think that there's an aspect of that. I also dislike, and this is a personal dislike, I dislike when a game has a pay-to-win aspect and a leaderboard. This is why I actually call out a lot of gacha games for this. Because the moment you introduce a pay-to-win aspect and a leaderboard, it means that you can pay to win the leaderboard. So the people at the top didn't earn that, they paid for it. And that shit's scummy. That shit's really scummy to me. I stand by Azure Lane as one of the few times I think that's acceptable, because the paid for advantages in that game are so minuscule comparative to earned returns that, like, I'm pretty sure the top 10, 20 people are definitely people that have put money into the game. But, like, I'm sure there's people in the top hundreds of a lot of those scoreboards that haven't put money into the game and have just earned the shit out of that game. And they're awesome for it. Because you can play that game completely like that. That's the point. Right? Because there is technically paid for stats in Azure Lane, as well as, like, if you pay money for gacha rolls, you're going to probably get more gacha rolls than the average player. Yeah, that makes sense. So therefore, you're going to probably have more upgrades available to you than the average player. But also, that's kind of the point I was making, is that, like, if you just grind the game out, you can get plenty of upgrades. Characters don't come out often enough that break the game significantly that you can't just farm them up to max if you're just playing excessively. I remember getting quite high ranks in that game and putting in, like, fucking no money. I think I put in like 15 bucks one time. Something. Can't remember. I'm pretty sure I put money into that game though. I really do want to revisit Azure Lane at some point, see what that game's got going for it. I really do actually want to see what it's got going for it now. Because that game was really fun. But I can't justify more time than I already spent. It's all about knowing what your hobbies are and stuff. Oh, sorry, I just got sent something on Discord that's really fucking funny. Oh, that's cute, but so true. So true. Project management is a nightmare. God damn it. You fucking... Nah, I'm gonna fucking show this shit, calling you out. So, God posted this. It was cool, funny, I enjoyed it. I send a fucking thumbs up because I'm on stream, so I don't want to spend too much time on it. And they're all just fucking reacting. Bro, fuck you, bitch. Fuck you. No, fuck you, Yost. You son of a bitch. You come here and you thumbs up me. You better actually leave a like or I'm coming to your house and I'm gonna fucking shit in your sink. A sense of place to be annoying. No, I'm not gonna show that on I'll like release that place on stream because it's a specific content creators thing. I have my own place. Exactly. You're not getting in. Yost, do you think I wouldn't get into your place? You seriously think I wouldn't be able to get in your house? You know some of my stories. You know I'm getting in that house if I want to. You're not getting the like? Well, guess who's getting shit in their sick then? I'm gonna come over there and I'm going to shit in your sink and leave you a pizza with barbecue sauce on it. Mushrooms, pepperoni, barbecue sauce, and pineapple. I'm leaving you that pizza. And my own security system, at the very least, I'd know if anyone got in. Well, you'd know you got the shit in your sink then. And you know you'd have the pizza left for you. I'll send a Stalfo my robot vacuum to chase away a Wait, I know you actually have the plush. Have you sellotaped the plush on top of the robot vacuum? If you haven't, you know you need to do that. You gotta do that. Come on, Yost. Come on. Because he's sucking. Yeah, well, it's sucking doesn't matter. You gotta get the Stalfo plushie on top. So especially means that if someone comes to your house and sees it going around, they're confused as fuck. There's a lidar on top, so you can't put plush on it. The fuck does that mean? The fuck's a lidar? Is a lid? Is that what you mean? Oh, you mean fucking the scanner? Oh. LiDAR. LiDAR. Not LiDAR. 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 Yeah, no, it's the light detecting thing. Fuck, suck. Eat a dick, Yost. This Leviosa, exactly. No, you. I fucking gladly present then. I'm going away again. Good. Leave me like my father. Fuck you, Yost. You asshole. I needed to make sure I shamed him on stream for his BS. He gets some milk too. Milk and cigarettes, Yost. Gotta go get milk and cigarettes. He's probably gone already. Fuck you, Yost, though. As everyone can see, I treat people that are my friends with the utmost respect and care. Cigarette cereal. He should be thankful I at least put the thumbs up in the chat and didn't just put it underneath the image with a reaction. I'll do that fucking next time, because apparently I'm just not allowed to give a thumbs up in the chat. Asshole. Boomer reaction. You fucking what, Yost? You know what, Yost? You're not here, so I can do this. Little bitch. Yeah, eat a dick. If anyone's wondering, Yost has a name in Discord. I've rectified his name to the little bitch. As he deserves. This is the best part of being an admin in that server, is I can fuck with people. Only do it when they're an asshole though. Can't wait for Yost to come back to the YouTube and complain to me. Don't check out Discord. I dread to imagine. I mean, I've been keeping a soft eye on it from time to time. There we go. Apparently he's going to contact the cyberbully hotline, so I told him good. That way they can laugh at you too. You deserve everything you get, Yost. You silly, silly man. You silly little man. Ha ha ha. Okay. Bring back Chatleth. I mean, Chatleth's perfectly fine there, right? Wait, this side would probably be better showing it, right? To be fair, I might get up in a little bit and go grab something to snack on. So you'll see Chatleth then. Might grab some rice or something to eat. How do I do passives? It's just funk, right? Yeah, funk I do. Okay, so we want missing health calculation. Which is this calculation here, right? So... This was giving 6% at lowest health, also 0.6 at lowest health. So whatever this is this is what it's going to give at the lowest potential value. So what is an amount of healing that we think is pretty high to potentially counteract the player at lowish thresholds, but not completely. Again, we want you to want to fight it. So this is every tick as well is going to be the thing. So we'll want times value divided by FPS, so we can like kind of correctly get the healing. So if I give it 100 here, that should mean at lowest health it's getting 100 per second. That's, to be fair, we'll never reach that though, because it has to be 0% for that to be the case. So, alright. If HP is less than or equal to max HP times 0.3, so a third of the max health. Also keep in mind I do need to reference these correctly. So ID. Also one thing I probably should do with these, do I have a system for it? I don't think I've ever considered it necessary. Yeah, okay. HP is greater than max max. I think, yeah, that's how I wrote it through. There. Just a little check thing. To ensure if an enemy is getting healed that they don't go and break the game. Alright. I'm actually a little surprised Yost didn't come back to the chat to, like, bitch at me that I've changed his name. I told him I'll fix it tomorrow. I bet he's gonna try and convince Zyko, though, to change it back before then. I'll need to put a message in staff. The little bitch already got it changed back? Who changed it back? Server settings. Audit log. I can't see it because I'm in streamer mode. Fuck. Disable streamer mode. You fucking Zyko, I swear to God. What an asshole. All right. Gotta think about my plan to screw Yost over. Do something mean to him. He's not gonna take his punishment lying down. There we go. All right. So if it's below this threshold, what was the value that I need? We needed, it was global mod. So it was cooldown mod global. Will equal so it needs to be equal minus 0.6. Else if and then we just grab this again. Cooldown mod global equals minus 0.3. Else cooldown global equals 0. There we go. So now, as its health gets lower, it heals more, but also it, at thresholds, will get cooldown reduction. So I need I need this one. Actually, no, attack again, true should probably be separate. That'll be better. Walker's thing. But then... attack again can be like every 15 seconds, but then it's also going to be times... and then we will grab the modifier that we have in here and copy this because it's basically the same. Yeah. Hmm. Okay, so now I'm gonna go to... Is it the player or is it the main that I spawn bosses from? I think it's the main, right? The test bosses. I can pause that. Yeah, there it is. Alright, Control-Shift-K. So boss list hard. And it is list 0. Let's see what happens. If we just spawn it currently. So that's clearly not right. It's spawning a bunch at once? Why is it spawning a bunch at once? Because we're not resetting anything. Straight away. Yeah. So what are the checks for the attack? It's just checking if it's an attack thing. Yeah. If state attacking, path end, walk speed, main attack, trigger, so it's gonna get about half a second worth of frames. So we need a safety net. If not spawned, attack. Spawned attack equals true. Put in here, spawned attack equals false. And then put in here, self dot spawned attack equals false. There we go. Should now only spawn one thing per attack cycle. So now we need to fix the casting. Because currently they're all casting to thing, so we need to now get so we need, I random range, id.x minus, say, 400, and then id.x plus 400. Might need to reduce this, but we'll see. Random range id.y minus 250 id.y plus 250. So somewhere in between those values is where it will spawn, and it will randomize that each time. Smaller area, more area to cover. Radius can probably then be 50. Damage, it's gonna even probably be less than that. Go with 20. And give this 500, 500, and then give this 300. Okay, so 20 is way too small and the area is way too big now. That's cool. Good to know we went too far, that's perfectly fine. Let's try 60 then. But yeah, it doesn't look like the buffer range is working the way I want it to. And that didn't work. Why did it not work that one time? Yeah, why did the attack not work like the 1 or 2 times? That's interesting. Might need to look into that. I think the damage zones are fine enough. I mean, I could just have it swap immediately. Yeah, let's just have the attack swap immediately. Then there's no reason for the spawned attack. Let's see what if we do this. What happens? If I wanted to actually like stay still and stuff, I'd probably be better having it as an ability anyway. It's probably fine enough. So the cast seems a little long. Well, like the cast seems fine. The switching out of it seems off, which is exactly what I'd expect. Can make it have a better cast point here. So does it feel like it's healing? It is healing. Very gradually. To be fair, again, keep in mind, so I'm gonna probably make this boss only able to spawn at like the end of a run. So it makes sense that this thing is gonna be like excessively tanky. So now we want to change how the pathing's done a little bit to improve upon the system that we kind of tried to have before, but it's clearly not working, which is this. What if we actually do switch these around? Would that be the change that it needs? No, it's still just trying to stand on top of me. Oh, this part's wrong. Okay, so wait, this might need to still be this. Try this out then. Okay, we can reduce the area quite a bit, but that's what we needed for it. Cool. So I'm just going to yoink that and make sure that goes into the controller. And this can be like 70, because that will mean that it still tries to get on top of you, which is the idea. It still tries to get near enough to you that it's basically point blank range, but I don't want it to try and be point blank range with you. I want it to try and keep a little bit of a distance. That's the overall desire. Also, I think that the area detection thing still is way too much for this, so I'm actually going to pull this down to 200 here. And pull this down to 300 here. Actually, let's go with 350, should we? Just slight tweak down there. Again, just playing with these numbers to see what it feels like. I do think the radius is kind of what I want, but I think the density is what I want to improve on. Like the density and difficulty of traversal. Because I want it to be like, if you're in close range of it, you've got a good shot of getting hit. But I do want it dodgeable, because again, it's going to get like a significant cooldown reduction later. At least that's the idea. Get a lot more base healing. Ooh, we're getting low. We've basically done no damage to it at this point, which is kind of fascinating. Because keep in mind that, yeah, like our damage is super low because it's also got armor. You can, if you actually look at the damage values, we're dealing like 17, 13 damage in some spaces. Yeah, like 13, 14 damage on average. Whereas to it, we're dealing 7. Armor scaling be wild. Alright. Yeah, like comparing these two is incredible. I've already like chunked the party animal a shitload. The queen, the new boss, I have done fuck all to, and it's basically healing back what I've done. So there's a chance we might need to pull the healing down as well. That's always a good consideration to keep in mind. Also, I'm actually getting incredibly low health. I've probably got so much DOT stacked up at this point, goddamn. Okay. Still don't feel like I'm quite doing enough damage. So we've also had 2 bosses spawn. I still think that number's too low. Because yeah, we've had the dev test boss with us this whole time as well, but like, that just seems really low. Especially knowing there's going to be more enemies spawning at some point. Once we actually have all of that finished and rigged up. Yeah, we've already gotten to the 3rd boss spawn. The 3rd natural boss spawn. We are getting like peak items though, which is pretty good. Just need to get the demon blood and we're good. When does that give armor again? Is it rank 4? The Shy Lily one, I can't remember when that gives armor. We'll vaporize the shrine, because it doesn't have any scaling. God damn it. So one thing I want to talk about though is a consideration that I probably should think about more, but I want to avoid, is lockout system. So what is what I mean by that is like bosses locking out other bosses from spawning. Oh, I died. God, Iron Mike did a lot of damage there, huh? I don't want to do that. I want you to be punished for leaving a boss alive. This is a simple answer, but yeah, that boss is really, really fucking hard to kill at this stage. It might need some numbers to come down. We'll see. But more or less, that is the first hard boss kind of implemented, which is kind of cool because we've got some extra systems that came along with that. That's the main thing to kind of take away from it. Alright, what else was I gonna think about? So one other thing that I need to kind of consider, and I don't know how I'm gonna consider this, is how I'm going to do other things. That was a great description there. Malith, you did a great job at conveying your thoughts. EXE and assists. There is an amplification value specified for them, and I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to approach that. Because at the moment, there is only one source of assist amp, and there's no things for EXE amp, or EX amp, sorry. And there's none of the assists or EXs actually scale with amplification currently, to my memory. So I'm trying to figure out how I want to do that, because I think the rule I want to have is that each scales with that kind of value uniquely. So it will be like a case-by-case basis. Because what I use for as an example for that is Iron Mouse's assist is her EX, but with a longer cooldown. If I gave you that and then gave you assist amp, what the fuck am I modifying? The only thing that can be modified, because it's an insta-kill effect that then sucks up EXP. What the fuck do I modify them? There is no lever. The only lever is cooldown. Do we make it so EX amp and assist amp affect those cooldowns? Depends on the casing, right? That's why I'm saying, like, I'm trying to decide how I want to approach that. I don't think I can think of a good answer though today, I'll be honest. That's one of those ones where I don't know how I'm ever gonna truly treat that EX and assist amp. Just because there is nothing else to do, unless I decide to add a EXP multiplier, but I feel like that's really not good, because I feel like that ability is already super strong. A consideration I've had is adding it so when I use it, it deals damage to bosses instead of, since it doesn't execute them, because it does nothing to bosses. It literally is useless on bosses. But it deals damage and then give that amp. So then it's got something. Because Iron Mouse does struggle versus bosses, but I don't want to like shore up all of her weaknesses, right? I don't know. I don't think there's a solid answer for it. I'm gonna be back in a sec, but I'm also very likely going to end the stream in the next like 20-30 minutes. So get your chilleth. Oi, 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 and I'm back. Alright. Where was I with this? Alright. Oh, interesting. Sorry, so I just saw an IGN thing that I want to comment on. So, Californian Governor Gavin Newsom has signed a bill into law that will force storefronts to admit that you don't actually own your digitally purchased games, films, TV shows, you're just licensing them. Which is good, because, like, that is the big misunderstanding that currently exists. I actually think that's a really good change, because what I mean by this is that one of the big issues I have with like games, Stop Killing Games or whatever, is that it's like making it out that you own this game, so therefore this and that. Whereas the agreement normally is that you're buying a license for the game. So basically you're buying access to the game, and you're being given the client to access said game. So examples of this is any game that basically has any online connectivity is because it is just easier. Now, what this does mean is that if the game decides to stop its running of it, and like something happens with license, whatever, and it removes our storefront, that means you lose the game. Which a lot of people dislike because they believe that they own the game. Now, I do think it's valid to still complain, going like, well, I did purchase something, I wish I could keep something. But, you know, it is what it is. But yes, I think it's really important to have that transparency. But yeah, like that's another thing is right. It's like if someone cheats and it's caught, then you get banned. The ban is just the company revoking the license to you to continue accessing that service. So that actually makes a lot of sense as well. Like it's very important to kind of consider this. Oh god, Sayu's getting a new model? Oh, it looks chibi as well. Oh, hell yeah. Is it a chibi version of his main one? That's pretty cool. But yeah, no, that's... Right. Da, 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 da. Alright, Oh, that's actually an idea. I'm going to consider that. I need to write that down though. Average move speed. There we go. Yeah, that's a note for later. I just thought about. I have no idea how I'm going to accomplish it though. There's actually no. I lied. There's a couple of ways I could accomplish it, but there's only so many I can think of right now. It'll be interesting to try and accomplish actually. Surface and then hold surface, reduce alpha, and hold surface in so much thing. That'd be weird. Yeah. Sorry, I'm again contemplating things. It's always the difficulty. Oh wait, is there a new Fable game announced? I'm pretty sure I heard one was in production. I didn't realize one got announced. Yeah, there's another one coming out next year. Oh, Pog. Dude, it's been how many years? It's been 15 years since the last Fable game. God damn. Positioned as a reboot. Ooh. Dude, I'm excited for that. That'll be cool. Alright. Oh, fucking, you know... So I've talked about this a little bit, right? But I'm aiming to move in the near future. Constantly looking for a place at the moment, and I'm probably gonna aim to move, like late November, early December is my kind of goal. because I don't really want to move on, like, basically on Christmas again. That was a fucking nightmare last time. But yeah, generally I kind of want to, like, before the end of the year is the best case scenario for me, right? And I want to stress, I've been looking for a place solo, right? And I will not deny that the cost for that's really quite a lot higher than I probably should be reasonably looking. I could probably find, to give an idea, I can easily find a room that would allow me to have a cat and everything probably for about $200 a week. I'm looking at places that are nearly $400 because I would prefer to live on my own because it means that I can stream at whatever time I want. Sure, could I find a potential flat that allows for that, but I'm just kind of at a point where I don't want to live with other people. Just New Zealand doesn't really have great options for that and having a cat, which is really fucking annoying. Because there's all sorts of reasons a landlord would choose not to rent out a place that allows animals. Insurance companies actually a big reason, from what I've seen, is that, like, insurance companies will say you cannot have this because otherwise we won't cover the insurance, like the insurance package won't allow for it. It's a very common thing. Some will make it an argument that it's like, oh, neighbors don't want it. Some will make it an argument that it's just they don't want it because they've had bad experiences with it or whatever, and all that. And it's just, and then sometimes it's the property managers that are advertising the place don't allow for it because reasons. It's just really annoying because I've got an elderly cat that barely moves around the house. Basically, it's just trying to find the warmest spot, sleeps there 90% of the day, and the rest of the time it's eating, drinking, or pooing. And it's completely house trained. It's like, what the fuck, people? I just want a fucking granny flat to live out of and be left alone to do my shit. Why is it so hard to find a place like that? So one thing I do want to say, by the way, we will be having it so this, like, creates a little spike at the locations. I want to create, like, little visual things. I thought that would be cool. I need to set up a system for that. I don't know how I'm going to do that at this stage, though. We will see later. But I really like what we've got so far for this. This will need more testing. There's a lot that we'll need more testing for. And we will see how this all goes eventually. It's also going to be a fight of we don't have assets for it yet, so things need to be still kind of done. This character is going to be interesting though, because so idle, stand still, and attack are the animations typically. We don't have an attack animation. So we could have a cast animation in that spot, potentially. Wouldn't, like, end the world? We'll see. We'll see. Good lord, my hair is getting long and very fluffy. Is what it is. Okay, I don't want to end stream yet, but I also don't really want to do more programming at the moment. I'm feeling quite exhausted. And this... getting an entire boss basically frameworked up like this actually is quite impressive and is quite a bit of work done. So, that is a good thing. Oh, fuck. Some bite or something. God damn it. Sorry, but a little bug bite. But yeah, I don't know what I want to do right now. But I am hoping that, like, the next update that we do I can possibly push through these 2 bosses. I just need to get the assets done, right? I'm not gonna lock in and say this, but there's a chance I can probably get the wolf or the knife doggo most of its assets done today, because I have like the foundation of it done and I'm doing the framework stuff at the moment. So the framework is like the actual position of everything, what the limbs will be and all that sort of stuff. So I've got that getting done at the moment. I should be done with at least the idle animation, if not maybe the running animations framework as well by the end of today. So I'll have like the idle animation done and then the running animation framed up today. I'm hoping I can get more done. And then if I can get all that done, then I can maybe work on the bigger boss, because arguably that will be maybe a bit more easier, actually, because its animations are going to be very low intensity, so whatever I do for it's going to just be quite simple, so I can spend more time on like just making sure I get it nice looking and then just have some subtle animations going on for it. Alright. Sorry, I am getting, like, slightly distracted. This is what I mean by, like, I don't think I'm gonna probably be doing much more programming today. I'm quite willing to just sit here and chill. I'm not gonna lie, so one thing I do kind of want to do soon is start reaching out to other, like, VTuber fans and start kind of creating a rapport there where I can talk with them about VTubers that I might not know or VTubers I do know and think about, like, their abilities and things in this. I really want to kind of do that sort of thing, so... But yeah, I do want to kind of like create that kind of environment at some point with that community. Just to like work on the game better. Because I'm going to be honest, I'm going to miss VTubers, I'm going to not think of ideas for them. And that's something I want to stress is another reason why I'm not going to do some VTubers, is while I want to do them, I don't know how to do them justice. There's a reason why the list is what it is because those are characters I'm pretty confident I can do some form of justice for. If we go to the list, let's pull it up, Like, these are all that ones that I know fairly well and I watch on a semi, like, highlights for at the very least on a semi-regular basis, if not, like, follow them or actively try and watch their content, stuff that they're in, yada yada yada. And it's the same with this list here. Like, I keep an eye out for all of that sort of stuff as much as I can. But, I don't know with some of them. Like, I really, really want to do more. I really do. Oh yeah, I should probably show some of this. This is my random ideas that I've got for like weapons, items, and abilities that I don't know where they're gonna go at this point. Some of them might go on characters, some of them are just like ideas space, and some of them might just be universal pieces. A few of these items I want to be universal pieces, and not for specific characters. Kind of like what we've got with some of the weapons, where they're clearly not for characters. They're just like kind of just references, general references. And I'm not even going to definitely do all of these. These are just kind of soft things. Fuck, even one of them's literally just, I want to do a Black Rock Shooter reference. What the fuck was this one? Summon a large thing to attack enemies for a duration. Where the fuck? What the fuck description is that? I am even confused by that. Oh, no. I do know what that is. Okay, yeah, no, I've clicked back onto it. This is kind of, think of like the Tibbers weapon from Swarm, was the idea. It's like a large dude running around punching shit. Because I thought we should probably make some more weapons that are like actually just straight up summons and stuff. I thought that would be kind of cool. It's the same reason why we've got this one up here, which is like you get an egg as a weapon and it's just, it doesn't do anything for a while. And I don't think I'm going to tie this to a character. There's a one character I can think of potentially adding it to, but I'm going to probably not. But I want it as a weapon because it would just be kind of interesting to have a weapon that's basically nothing initially, and then just like you can level up the stats and all that for it, but like eventually the timer finishes and then you just get a really potent effect, because by doing that I can actually give you a super powerful weapon because the game's about a time. If the game is about boss rushing and killing things fast, giving you a weapon that has a delay is really bad. Like super, super bad. So I think that's pretty cool. This one I'm probably not gonna do just because we already have this in one item already. Where is it? Nanomachines. This one was just such a cool idea I want to do. It's when you take health damage, you'll gain a small, like, decaying shield. Like, I don't know, maybe 50 shield or something. So it means that, like, if you're in the middle of a fight, you don't take too much, but, like, the shield will only last, like, maybe a little bit over half a second. So it basically disappear. It's a, no, sorry, I'm probably going to make it a decaying shield over a second, and it's just only when you take health damage. So it's this nice, like, buffer room that kind of amplifies how much health you have in a really weird way. I thought it was cool. And I think it's a funny reference as well, being nanomachines. Nanomachines, son. Chibi model, I was watching... Who was I watching? It was Fruit, I think, right? Yeah, I think I was watching Fruit in one of her chibi model videos from back when, and I was like, damn, that's cute as fuck. A lot of people do get chibi models, and then I decided I should probably make an item for that. And I thought I'd just kind of keep it simple, reduce the size, reduce your damage taken, gain some movement speed. I think it's nice. Maybe there's more I could do with it. We'll see. I'm probably going to turn this one into an ability, by the way. I think this would be better as an ability. Just a periodic vacuum. Like every 40 seconds, you instantly suck up everything. Don't think that's very strong. In fact, I think it's actually really shit for an ability. But I think it would be a nice one. Or I could probably have it like every 60, 50, 40 seconds. That's sort of the scaling. So it actually has some levels. This one, I will not deny, there's so many... In so many of these games, I've noticed... So, like, okay, let me explain something. This was me looking through other games very similar to this style and all that, and it was just kind of me thinking about things I wanted, thinking about things I didn't want, and yada yada yada, and what I felt was unique to that game, and what's unique to mine. And it was quite interesting. That's why, like, some of these are going to probably end up as characters, pieces. That's why I'm not locking them in yet. And it's very interesting to think about some of that. Favorite VTuber? I've said this plenty of times before. I think my best answer to that is Iron Mouse. Because, like, just what she stands for, what she's done, and where I've been in my life, and what she's done has done for me as well. So, I guess that's best argument. I'm not great at picking favorites, but it's just kind of if we were to do that. It's something that works like garlic from Vampire Survivors. I'm gonna guess you haven't been around before. Let me just quickly load up the game. And I'll answer that statement about garlic from Vampire Survivors. There we go. Does that answer answer my statement towards if I would add a garlic? Short answer is Iron Mouse literally has a more deep mechanic version of garlic where it's lower base damage, but it does damage based on the healing you've done since the thing. That's the idea of her, and she's supposed to be all about healing amp. Your favorite is Pastroni Ravioli? Which one's that one? I feel like I recognize the name. I feel like I've seen you before. Is Qua's second generation of birth. Ah, that's why. Yeah. No, I remember her. Haven't watched too much, but fair enough. Just her laughs, it's amazing. That sounds great. That is a fair enough. thing to enjoy. Like, again, that's the thing, is everyone loves VTubers. Those that enjoy VTubers love them for different reasons, and I always find that really fascinating. Mine's like really complex and has way too many levels to it that makes it like just this convoluted BS. Yours is way better. It's just really like to laugh. It's like, fucking fair enough. I like that. Do have to figure out these all at some point. Is part of Vine Souls? Watching Limes. Okay. More to add to the list that I need to probably check out at some point. Again, that's got what I was saying earlier is just like I only know so many. I can only know so many VTubers at a time, and even of those, there's only so many of them that I know well enough to make a kit for. One day I'd like to change that so it's a bit more open and more people can join together to create characters for this. Would be kind of cool. I mean, best case scenario is I open the floor a lot more and people work together on it, so I can work less on it. That sounds really mean to say it that way, though. Have every character ever. That'd be fucking insane. Are you gonna do Funny and add a Reaper? Like, so the main gameplay loop is more reminiscent of a game called Soulstone Survivors, if you've ever come across that, where it's more of a kill so many enemies, a boss spawns, kill the boss, repeat this process a set amount of times, and that's the end of the run. So it's actually more about speed than it is about survival. That's actually what we're working on a lot at the moment, is the bosses for the game. So we've got the main one that's implemented, which is Party Animal. We've just got the other base one that we have in, but not actually got any assets for correctly, is Knife Doggo. And then we're working on this one today, which is one of the first hard bosses in the game. That's going to be like part of a separate list, and we'll go from there. That one was... that one's going to be really fucking irritating to fight. I expect this to need a few nerfs before it actually gets properly implemented, because the amount of healing it does is a little much, and bosses that heal are always disliked. But yeah, we've got all sorts of stuff. Like, we've got a shitload of bosses to do at some point, and I'm making more as the days go by. I got a good idea for a boss. Shoot. Worst I can do is say no. Right? But I'm always open to hearing suggestions, because I mean, even if I don't agree with the idea, I still can learn from the idea and think of a concept off of it. Right, that's something that I've said many a times. Like, I remember someone asking me a question for something and it just not being anything that I wanted to do, but while I was thinking through it, I came up with something else. A giant plush animal that shoots meteors, made of small plush toys that rain down onto areas of the map. I mean, I wouldn't be against doing a plush of some kind. Yeah, that's probably a fair one. Because I don't really have any, like, things like that, yeah. So there's probably a good valid argument to having a giant fucking teddy bear or some shit. Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's a pretty solid one. I'll write a note down to potentially think about something like that later. There we go. Why not make the plush an evil blush? Maybe, but we've already got a reference for that in the blood collection up here for Rin. So I don't know how many of duplicating references I want to do, but we'll see. I'm cooking here. True. I ain't gonna stop you from cooking. I mean, I'm one person. I can only come up with so many ideas, right? It's all about trying to find the balance as well, because I've got to do all the fucking assets and shit. Again, I want to stress something. I've said it a lot of times, but like the biggest slow point of this game is assets for me. Because could I make... If I didn't have to worry about the assets, I could probably have made this game like half a year ago. Hell, if I was to do this game from the ground up today, I could get it done to the same caliber it is currently, but better, before the end of the year. Just because I have already got all the assets that I have up until this point. And it just goes to show how much there is to go. So much assets. The reason why we're working on the bosses without them at the moment. Don't do a Concord, take your time. I mean, yeah. That game was marketing, was mainly what I would argue is a big issue with it, then also just not having a good color palette. And also going into a saturated thing. It was a lot of reasons why that game struggled. Like if we actually sit down and do an analysis, which we did one of the other streams, so we sat down and did like a hardcore analysis of what actually went wrong. Close. Pull up the list again. Because like if we look at hard bosses, what else do we have for hard bosses at the moment? "69 players got the platinum trophy." Yeah, I did see that. It was very funny. Bizarre Journeyer, Shadow Monster, and Blizzard Witch. So there's 2, 3, 4 hard bosses at the moment. I'm probably gonna want what for the next major patch cycle. How many bosses do we want? Again, it was like 30. So I would say 10 of those need to be hard bosses, and then the 20 need to be the normal bosses. Yeah, sounds about right. Because you're only going to see probably 2 hard bosses per run, unless modifier changes that. Ooh, that'd be an interesting modifier. Another sad news, people still want a Star Wars Acolyte Season 2. To be fair, I have yet to watch like so much of the Star Wars TV shows for ages. I think I've watched like the second season. Did I watch the second season of yeah, I did, of what's its name? Mandalorian one. And that was basically the furthest I got. I never watched anything further. None, not Book of Boba Fett, which was like season 2.5 of Mandalorian. And then any of the others. I really should fix that though. Because like the Ahsoka series look pretty cool. Skip Acolyte's got more plot holes than a wheel of Swiss cheese. To be fair, I could say the same argument with pretty much everything that's been Star Wars for a long time. I'm gonna be honest, there's a reason why I haven't watched most of those shows, is because I just kind of got bored of Star Wars content. There was just nothing really interesting and fresh going on with most of them, and that was just, I just wasn't in the mood for it, which is fine. I'll fix that someday. I'll go back and rewatch a bunch. Clone Wars is the only great show. I'll agree with you on that. Clone Wars is great. I remember watching that back when. and watching a little bit of it more recently. Well, I say more recently. I say, like, I think I watched like 5 episodes a year or 2 ago. And just reminded myself what the show was like, which is good, so. So I was gonna say, like, a modifier that's just, yeah, more hard bosses spawn. They did do a season 7 title up in relation with episode 3. Yes, I did hear about that. That was fairly recent, I believe, right? It was a couple years back. Had a lot of hype around it. Everyone was like, yay, more Clone Wars animated series content. Woo! Still love that, like, one of the best series for Star Wars was born from probably one of the worst movies. I still think that the second of the prequels was one of the worst Star Wars movies outside of the second of the new trilogy. I think that's literally the worst in my opinion. But hey. Except you'll see Order 66 from Ahsoka's point of view. I mean, there's been books and comics that had already kind of covered that, so I'll be interested to see what they did with that. Because I know the Ahsoka series also answered, like, something that I remembered from massive lore nerd stuff towards the potential that I think Anakin replaced father? Right? Which was a big theory for ages. When he actually dies, he went and replaced father. I believe that was his name, right? It's kind of heartbreaking for it. Yeah, like I'd expect. There's no way that sort of thing's nice and pleasant. I do need to go through and actually tweak some of these numbers still, I think. Also need to actually introduce the dynamic duo one, because I think that's going to be a really fun modifier. And it shouldn't be too hard, because all we need to do is make a variable for it at this point. This is whimsical ass music. Hey! This music's fucking great. The Heartbound OST. It's good. All music all over the place, mind you. But it's great, because it's good for working with. And it's completely legally fine to use. Which is the big thing. Yeah, I gotta go delve deep into some ideas for these at some point. The issue is, I feel with the bosses especially, I've been slowly navigating away from VTuber references and more anime references, which I'm not too upset by, but do need to fix that. You want a good OST? Listen to Subnautica? I'm not denying that, but the thing is, I have 100% guarantee that this will never affect my channel. In most games it's the same, but sometimes it's not the case. That's why I like this soundtrack. As well as, I have it on my computer, I own it. Like, I bought it. So I just have it downloaded and can play it from the media player. That's why it's really good. I do want a few more references, kind of like this one though, which is like old school. TV show and movies. There's ways people stream on Kick because you can get away with copyright music. Yeah, but it's a thing to that. Kick breeds some really bad streamers and bad habits. I'm not happy with how Kick's handling a lot of its systems. And it's gonna get slammed eventually. Like, there's a reason why copyright systems are strict on Twitch and YouTube. It's because it's them saving their own asses from legal problems. Like, I stream on both YouTube and Twitch. Like, I'm streaming on both right now. So, I'm just accommodating the in-between and I'm content. So. Kick has a bot advertising problem. Kick has a lot of problems. Again, I want to stress this. Like, I'm not gonna shit on anyone in particular, but like, Kick as a platform has a lot of issues with itself currently. And there is no way in hell I'm gonna touch that thing with a 10-foot pole. I see no advantage to interacting with Kick at all at this point, and I only see disadvantages being in that kind of environment. Like, I'm not going to agree with it, but there was a streamer at TwitchCon that like made a comment that there was a lot of people from Kick that turned up and it really ruined a lot of things because their mentality is fucked. Which is kind of true. At least it gives you the option to not see hot tub streamers and gambling. Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with that. Again, there's an argument on Twitch's end with things, but like, then just go to YouTube. YouTube doesn't really have much in the way of gambling things or hot tub streamers. Can't get away with jack shit on YouTube. And then you'll make an argument, oh, but then it's restrictive. It's like, yeah, but you've said you don't want two things, so therefore you want to restrict things. Like, do I think Twitch needs to really kick its shit into gear and stop randomly banning VTubers and then leaving random webcam streamers that have tit slips constantly? I think there's something that needs to be done there. Do I agree with the gambling being so avid? Well, I mean, fun fact, do you know what Twitch was originally? Twitch was a massive, massive problem with what it was originally. It didn't used to be a game stream site. It used to be basically a pornography site. Surprisingly enough, some of those origins stick around. Can only do so much to clean it all off. So I kinda can't blame them. That's the problem, is that Kick is literally just what Twitch was, but it has like it's a modern version of the same problem that Twitch had. So it's just, Kick's just gonna end up like Twitch. If not, it's gonna suffer. And to the other comment with the YouTube has the bot problem there, I've not really come across that myself, so I can't comment. YouTube has its own things. Like, again, no platform's perfect. It's just, I enjoy YouTube. It was pretty good for my initial stuff, and streaming to Twitch is easy enough because I use a secondary platform to stream to both. That's the only reason I stream to both. It's easy enough. And mostly on Most Critical's comment section. That would probably explain why I don't see it then. Because I've not watched anything from Most Critical not consciously in years. Like, not saying anything against, but you know. That's why I say, to be fair, I also don't look at YouTube comment sections very often other than my own, because normally there's just dumbasses in them. It's the same with Twitter. It's the same with any platform. It's just people too busy abusing the fact that they can say something and not take ownership of what they've said. I have to. I put my face out there, so therefore I take ownership of what I say. If I say something, I have to realize that the repercussions of saying that thing are mine and mine alone. Other people just don't have to do that when they're just a username. Which is why it's getting more and more concerning seeing how things are trending. But again, it's a very much a personal take on some of it. Alright. Oh, that was an interesting thing. Oh well. Where was this? Yeah, I think that's fine as is. I don't think there's anything that needs to really change with that system until we get more assets going and actually can see what it looks like. I do think it's probably too tanky though. But it's a difficult one because like when the hard bosses spawn, they're gonna have a lot of multipliers, so their probably stats could come down a bit. I have to play around with that. Again, that's probably one of those things where like once we get the system implemented and the next update releases, people can tell me if things feel too hard or too easy. Hard bosses are supposed to be hard. But if they're too hard, then that's a problem. I do think this is nearly unbeatable at this stage. That's the problem. I'm trying to think what's the answer. Hit the armor, hit the max HP, hit the healing. Would be what I'd have to do. Yeah. And in the process raise the damage. This would need to scale off the base damage. So we'd be able to double dip on modifier. So we remove damage modifier? Yeah. That doesn't sound like a bad idea. I mean, I could just do that quickly. Other dot base damage times 0.3. Also, that's not the damage that we want, it's this value there. And armor movement speed I think's fine. This speed could come down. We were seeing it being a little fast. So 2.7. And the health seemed fine. But again, the health seemed fine, but the max health of the boss seemed off. So, we'll see. I mean, armor is probably the biggest thing that needs to be hit, armor and healing, because those stack really well with each other to make the boss stronger. If it's still in its like top 20% of health and it's hard to kill, then this boss is going to be unbeatable. So yeah, armor's definitely something that probably should be smacked. All this. Okay, what is the armor values I have otherwise? So this one is 40. This one is 30. So yeah, I could probably bring it to like 70 and it'd be fine. There we go. That'll make this boss way more reasonable. And then if there's any further issues, it will be the healing that probably gets cut. Or lowered, I should say. Because I want the boss to be a healing boss. I want it to be that as design. The lower the health, the more that it heals. To be fair, again, I stand by, it's hard to gauge this because this will be after 3 or 4 other bosses. So the scaling is going to be really high, but also 100 damage per second. I'm sure you can accomplish that by the end of the run. I think that's a very reasonable expectation. Now I was going to up this value again. This value is just going to keep going up, man, I swear. This value is probably going to keep going up until I start lowering the amount of spawns that can occur. That's probably what's going to happen. Alright. Okay. Yeah, alright, double check. Alright, oh, good lord. I just looked at the time. Probably should call it soon. Alright, oh my god, Fortnite Battle Royale turned 7 years old. That is a wild thought that that game's been around for 7 years. Oh god. I remember when I started working and that was talked about. Or while I was working it was talked about. I was just like at work and people were going, hey, have you played this game? Everyone's talking about it. It's like, no, I don't want to. I don't like shooters, fuck off. Where was I 7 years ago? 7 years ago, fuck, where was I? It would have been 2017, right? So yeah, I'd have been working. Oh god, where was it working? I don't know if I want to think about that. It doesn't matter. Alright, well, we've got the boss done, done some other tweaks here and there. I don't think there's anything else I really want to work on today, so, and since I'm just feeling kind of tired, I'm gonna probably call it today. Get some, play some more Mecha Bellum, I'll be honest. Kind of want to play a little bit more of that. So, with that being the case, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. You're awesome, stay awesome, and I'll see you again next time. Till then, bye-bye.